Good morning, boys and girls. We are at Fort Myers Middle School Academy of the Arts, and I am the Director of Learning for Life. Hello again in 2018 year, pretty soon going to be 2019. Today we're going to be talking about a character trait called responsibility, and the students have chosen choices. So we hope that you use this YouTube video with all of your kids in your schools for your students. So here we go. Ready, guys?
Yes.
Okay. Here's an overview. Welcome. Today you are going to explore choices in making decisions, learn about decision-making skills, and think about your choices and your consequences. We're going to listen to a quick little video.
Hello, boys and girls. In this character development module, we're going to be looking at responsibility. Responsibility is about doing the right thing for yourself and for others. It's about being a good worker, making smart choices, and always doing what you say you'll do. Being responsible is one of the best things you can do to earn trust and gain independence. All of us get angry or upset with family members sometimes, and there are times when they're upset with us too. Often it's hard to admit we're wrong, and we don't want to talk honestly about our faults. Today, you'll have the opportunity to look at the way you interact with others, especially your family, and you'll become more aware of characteristics that you show, and will learn ways to turn negative statements into more positive ones. It's important that you know that you always have a choice in what you do. Today, we'll work on making choices with wisdom, judgment, and creativity. We will also practice decision-making skills with each other and prioritize our ideas. This will help us learn how to make good group decisions. We'll also look at ways we can help improve ourselves and the community. Part of being in a community is being a consumer. We will learn about being financially responsible and always being reliable. Our friends and families count on us. We'll learn about having responsibilities and deadlines and why it's important that we stick to them. Being a part of a community helps us feel connected to others. However, there are some groups that are not positive groups, like gangs. We will focus today on understanding the dangers of gang membership. You'll learn to recognize the many healthy ways to meet your social and safety needs other than joining gangs. By the end of this module, you will better understand what it means to be responsible in our interactions with others, especially our families. You will also learn how to make good choices, set goals and priorities, and be financially responsible and reliable. Finally, you will learn that being part of good groups and making good choices will help reach your goals.
So before we go forward, I always like to interact with the students. What do you think he meant when he said about making good decisions? What does it mean to make a good decision? Yes?
Never have a bad idea.
Never have a bad idea? Well, it's okay to think thoughts sometimes that are really not such good thoughts, but then it's what you do and how you act and behave when you're thinking of those thoughts. That's what matters. But I like what you're saying. So you want everyone to be more positive, right? Don't think of bad thoughts. But what does it mean to you about making a good decision? Speak a lot louder. Doing the right thing. How many of you do the right thing? All the time. Okay? How many of you sometimes don't do the right thing? Even adults. You know, we don't always make the right choices. But the best thing is that when you make a mistake and the wrong choice, you what? You need to what? Say it louder. Learn from those mistakes, and you don't make those same mistakes again. So let's move on to our lesson. Vocabulary words: brainstorm, prioritize, and consensus. We're going to review choice.
Brainstorm.
It's a verb to find ways of solving problems by having members of a group talk freely about their ideas. That's a brainstorm. How many of you brainstorm ideas in class? Excellent.
Brainstorm. Brainstorm.
All right, lady. Brainstorm we know. To find ways of solving problems by having members of a group talk freely about their ideas. So here's an example. Let's brainstorm to figure out this mystery together. Which of these is an example of brainstorming? The coach telling the team which plays to make, the teacher assigning homework to the class, the committee discussing which fundraiser to do, or your parents giving you a list of chores for the week. So what do you think?
The committee discussing which fundraiser to do.
So let's see, the committee discusses fundraiser to do. That's a problem. Yes, correct, the group makes the decision together. Well, you can also say that in the back there? Absolutely. Let's go to the next.
Prioritize.
That's a verb, prioritize. To put or do in order of priority or importance.
Prioritize.
Here's an example of prioritize. The ability to prioritize tasks is important for projects. Which of these is an example of prioritizing? Is it cleaning the aquarium before feeding the fish? Is it eating vanilla ice cream before chocolate? Chocolate's my favorite. Is it using the computer to do homework, to prioritize that, or reading a comic book and textbook at the same time? Which do you think is an example? Yes, sir. Nice and loud.
Cleaning the aquarium before feeding the fish.
Cleaning the aquarium before the fish. Correct. The steps are done in order of the importance. That's what's really important, is to make sure you're doing it systematically in order. So here is a noun.
Consensus.
Consensus, an opinion or decision made and shared by the group. We all have a voice. We all have to communicate and discuss things and come up with a compromise or discussion and consensus. Here we go.
Consensus.
An opinion or decision made and shared by a group. Here's the example for consensus. The consensus of the class was that the movie was silly. Which of these is an example of a consensus? The leader choosing the restaurant for the French club? The drama team deciding which play to perform? Or the team captain picking the post-game celebration? And or the band performing at halftime? What do you think? Even if it's wrong, it'll tell you. What do you think? And we'll go on to another one. Which of these is an example of consensus? And a consensus is an opinion or decision made and shared by a group. What do you think? Say it louder, sweetheart. The team captain picking the post-game celebration. Try again. Yes, sir, in the back.
The drama team deciding which play to perform.
The drama team deciding. Correct. The team works together to make a group. I love how you're clapping for everybody every time they do it. Make a right decision or they get it right. I love it. I love it. What teammanship. Here we go.
Choice.
It's a noun and adjective. Choice. Picking or choosing. Here's an example. It was hard to make the right choice. How many of us experience that every day in life? It's hard. Even adults, your teachers raising your hand. Yes, we all feel that we need to try to make the right choice. And sometimes we do and sometimes we don't. Here's an activity. We'll do the one activity, okay? Who would like to read? Who would like to read? Nice and loud, okay?
In our society, we are often faced with many choices. We make decisions constantly from the time we wake in the morning until we go to bed. Making a decision alone is a big responsibility. With so many options available, it can be difficult to consider and number of choices we have. In this activity, you will practice decision-making skills. You will learn about interacting with others and brainstorming, prioritizing ideas, and building a consensus.
Excellent reading. Thank you. Use this exercise to practice brainstorming on your own. When you brainstorm as an individual, you may come up with ideas you might not otherwise have had or dismissed too easily. Brainstorming allows you to be more freely creative, and I love that, because we all have creativity in us. We just don't all know what that is sometimes yet. You will first brainstorm different reasons students your age should learn to make wise choices. Think of all the responses you can to the following question. Remember that all ideas are accepted. Do not evaluate or criticize during a brainstorming session. just get out all the ideas you can and record them. We're just going to talk about it. Why is it wise to make good choices? So let's just write some of these down. Let's talk about that. You're brainstorming now. Why is it wise to make good choices? Why do you think so?
I think so because
Nice and loud.
if you make a good decision,
Mhm.
then you won't get into more trouble.
So if you make a good decision, that you won't be in more trouble. So making good decisions help you, making good choices to make a good decision helps you to do what?
Not get in trouble.
Okay, so by not getting in trouble, it helps you to make the right decisions. Okay? How about another? Why is it wise to make good choices? You don't want to get in trouble at all. Think about that. Think about the time. Yes, ma'am.
Because in the future, good choices can help you because, like, if you do something in the past, it can reflect on the future. So, like, if you make a good choice about going to a certain college,
Mm-hmm.
and you know one is really bad and one is really good,
Mhm.
in the future, it'll help you with your career.
Exactly. So, and I love what you said about that, the past and it has a little reflection on the future. But if anything you learned today, remember this. You cannot change your past. You can't. It's already been done. Whatever decisions you made, it's already done. But you can change your future. So you need to think about that and prioritize and come to a consensus of how you're going to react or act differently with whatever situation. So why is it wise to make good choices? And I'm going to say that kind of to help you with, let's say, with your future. Anyone else? Let's go backspace here to get back to spell that correctly. Okay. Any other ideas? Yes, ma'am.
If you make a good decision, then you won't lose what you have.
If you make a good decision, you won't lose what you have. Can you elaborate on that just a little bit? What do you mean by that? If you make a good decision, she said, you won't lose what you have. What do you think? Tell us more.
Because if you make a bad decision, then you might lose a friend. You might
Okay.
lose stuff that you really like.
So the consequences, if you don't learn from your decisions that you made the wrong decisions, okay, I'm not sure how to put that up on here. Let's just say, make good decisions. And I'm gonna say learn from your mistakes. Okay, so let's move on. Now let's take a look at some possible responses to the question of why is it wise to make good choices? For the first response below, it says to write, but we're not doing that today, what you like best about the idea and what concerns you. So we're just going to talk together as a group and brainstorm. To stay out of trouble. Why is that a good choice? Why is that a good choice?
Because if you did something bad back in the past,
Mhm.
you probably might regret it in the future.
Yeah, you're definitely good. Not probably. When you make wrong choices, there are consequences, and they're not positive consequences, they're negative. So you're going to, reflect on that, and you're going to feel those negative consequences, right? Excellent. What else? Let's get one more. To stay out of trouble. Why is it wise to make good choices? Yes.
You have to stay out of trouble because if you do bad things,
Mm-hmm.
everybody will know like you're a bad person. You're going to
So you worry about what people think about you, but when you're making those wrong choices, who are you role models for? You're sixth grade, so you're in the middle school, so you're kind of at the bottom grade level, right? But what about your siblings? Do you have any? Who has siblings? Are you role models for those siblings of yours? Sisters or brothers? Absolutely. So very good point to what you're saying. Let's move on. Okay. So how about to get my parents to give me more privileges? For the response below, let's talk about what you like best about the idea and what concerns you. And they're mentioning to get my parents to give me more privileges. Do you know what that means? What do you think?
You have to show them that you want more.
You have to show them that you want more privileges because you feel you can be responsible enough to do the things that they ask you to do, correct? That's very, very important.
So you earn the privileges.
Say it again.
So you earn the privileges.
So you need to earn the privileges. To get my parents to give me more privileges is you to earn. Mrs. P can't run and type at the same time. To earn those privileges. It's my nails. Okay. Let's do one more here. Let's do one more. Anybody else? Anybody else? Have anything you want to say about to get my parents to give me more privileges? Yes.
Like you can be more responsible by like doing things like helping me around the house.
So to get my parents to give me more privileges, you can do more chores around the house. Okay. Did anyone notice that I did not spell privileges right? You didn't even correct me. Look, it's right there. Spell it for me. I can't see it. Priv?
ILEGES.
Thank you. Good speller. Okay, next. Why is it wise to make good choices? For the response below, let's talk about what you like best about the idea and what concerns you. To keep, this is interesting, to keep teachers from coming down on me. What does that mean? What does it mean to keep teachers from coming down on me? What do you think it means?
Like, to show them that you respect them.
So it's important to show them that you respect them. What does it mean when they come down on you? What does that mean?
Oh,
What does it mean? That's my question. What do you think it means to come down on me?
Maybe to lose faith on you.
To lose faith in you as a student, that she or he at first thought that you were going to be an A student, then you're not an A, which is okay, but they come down on you because they're pushing you to be the what? To be the best you can be and to do your best. That's all any teacher always asks of you, to do the best you can do, okay? So that's an interesting one. You have to write something in there in order to go forward. How about this one? To have more privileges at school. For the response below, let's talk about what you like best about the idea and what concerns you in regards to having more privileges at school. What kind of privileges do you have at school, do you think? Are there any? What privileges?
using your Chromebook, like taking
Using your Chromebook, okay.
electives.
Electives, good. Is that what you're going to say? Okay. So, is this an idea, the best idea, and what concerns you? Do you have any concerns about having more privileges at school? What would it be? What would some additional privileges be in your mind? What do you think about? Brainstorm that. What do you think?
Not getting in trouble.
Not getting in trouble, okay. But what's a privilege to help you do that?
Go on field trips.
Going on field trips would be a privilege, right? Do you guys get to go on a field trip in 6th grade? Yeah, maybe? What do you think? Uniforms, it's a privilege to wear a uniform? Or
You can be a privilege.
it can be a privilege because, and what does a uniform do for you? It gives you what in the school? It makes everybody kind of similar, right? Yeah, so it's great. So lots of ideas that you guys have for having more privileges in the school. Let's go to the next. So for the response below, let's talk about what you like best about the idea and what concerns you about to do what is right. Is that important to do what is right? What do you think? Is it important to do what is right?
Yes.
Why is it important? Why? Why do you think it's important to do what is right? Who can help her out? That's okay. Thank you. What do you think? It's important to do the right thing to do because that is the right thing to do. Okay, I love that too. Yes, doing the right thing is the right thing to do. That's the right choice to make. That's the right decision to make. Positive. Yes, sir.
To show honesty.
To show honesty. So to do what's right is showing honesty and respect. And what were you going to say?
Like, if you do what is right, people will earn your trust.
Oh, I like that. If you do what is right, people, your classmates, your peers, your teachers, your family members will earn your trust. All right, let's move on. We should be coming to a close on this activity. I like this one we did today. Okay, so here, now let's prioritize the list of reasons why good choices are wise. All ideas have value. But when we prioritize, we are making a list in order of the importance. The purpose to assigning order to these ideas is to come up with the best choice possible. So, here are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. To stay out of trouble, just think about that. Not break Mrs. Becker's little chair. To get my parents to give me more privileges. To keep teachers from coming down on me. To have more privileges at school. Or to do what is right. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we're just going to talk about that, which should be at the top. Prioritize. I want you all to look at this list. Stay out of trouble, get my parents to give me more privileges, keep teachers from coming down on me, to have more privileges at school, and to do what's right. What should be the very first priority one? What do you think?
Do what's right.
To do what's right, how many of you agree? Okay, you do? Okay, so that would be number 1. I don't know how I could do this without, okay. What about number 2? So this would be number 1, to do what's right. What would come next? I'll just write it inside the little box there. How's that? Teachers can do that. So the first one is going to be to do what is right. Okay, what's the second? Yes.
Stay out of trouble, because if you don't stay out of trouble in school, your parents won't give you more privileges.
How many of you agree with what she's saying, to stay out of trouble? Would be the second thing. Okay. Okay. What's next? What's the next priority? We have to get my parents to give me more privileges, to keep teachers from coming down on me, or to have more privileges at school.
To keep teachers from coming down on me.
You think that should be before to have more privileges at school? You agree? Okay, well, I'm going to put what you guys are saying, then you can look at that. So it's to keep teachers, what's coming next?
From coming down.
Yeah, what's the next one? What do you think is the next one? What's the next? So, to stay out of trouble, we have that. We don't have to get my parents to give me more privileges, and we don't have to have more privileges at school. What do you think?
To have more privileges
At school? More privileges, okay. Say it again. Uh-huh.
Yes.
I can't see it, okay. More privileges at school. You know, I used to do really well in spelling. I beat my husband in Scrabble all the time, believe it or not.
You're not typing.
Oh, not typing. You guys are right on it. In school. Okay, last one. What's left?
To get my parents to give me more privileges.
To get my parents to give me more privileges, right? I got it. Okay. So let's look at that. Oh, did I? Nobody will. So here we go. To do what is right. That's the most priority. Is that correct? Okay. Stay out of trouble. I like that. That should be second. Third, to keep teachers from coming down on me. That's a strong, you think that should be in
No,
the,
because you need your teachers to like have trust in you and know that you're gonna do the right thing.
Right.
So to have more.
okay, and then to have more privileges at school, right? And then for the parents, okay, to give you more privileges. Yes, sir.
And the privileges don't come before to keep teachers from coming down.
Okay. Okay, good. Good job, guys. Good job. Here's a reflection. We're ending it up. So in a group setting, we would then come to a consensus. It means we brainstorm, we talked about it, as of which idea is the best. That's what you did. That means we'd all have to agree. which you did. Forming a consensus produces a creative group decision. Decisions made by consensus take time and motivation by the group members, which are you right now. So how do you think a consensus may result in a higher quality choice than a personal one made by an individual? So think about the difference between a group, a classroom in a school, or just a small group making a decision versus an individual. Is there a difference? A little difference, but we're really they're both doing, whether it's the group or not, okay? The quality, your higher quality choice than a personal one, to me, that higher quality is in whether it's a personal choice or if it's a group choice. In a group choice consensus, you have more people that you can communicate with and come up with a compromise and decisions. And when you're an individual, it's a little tougher when you're an individual that you have to think about something when you're not sure. But when you're in a group consensus, that to me is more teamwork and effort of prioritizing, and people help each other. People help people, and that's what the world needs more of, to make the right choices. And when we don't know, come together in a group of people that you know can help you. Who would that be and where would that be? When you need help in making a right or better decision. Who's in your school that can help you?
Principal.
Yes.
The teacher.
The teacher. Who else? Your friends, your parents, and is there a school counselor in your school? Absolutely, okay? That's important. And your friends, yes, but you have to make sure that you trust that friend or group of friends you have, so you're able to open up and talk about situations that you go through at times that you need that extra help and you need that support. You're making that decision to do that. This was a great lesson. How many of you enjoyed this lesson? Awesome job. Give me a high five there. Ready, go. See you next month. Awesome, guys.